Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It is Daily Dish time. How about that? And you know what day it is today? Do you know what day it is today? Cheers. Here's to you, Mother Hen. It's Wise Women's Wednesday, y'all. That's what it is, and we are all about it today. Are you excited about it? I love Wise Women's Wednesday. And today I'm going to share with you a cosmic 2x4 that really put me back on track and gave me everything that I needed to get, because I was faltering. I was having a hard time with things, and that's what we do as human beings. Sometimes we have a hard time. Am I right? Hi there, Jackie. It's good to have you here. Alice, I'm glad you're here as well. And of course, the dream team. We have Lindsay in the house. We have Amber in the house. And we have, of course, Jenny. She's controlling all the little levers in the back. I'm telling you. Jocelyn, hello. And there's my girl, Trisha, too. It's nice to see you. 2 days in a row, Trisha. It is hump day, but it's also Wise Women's Wednesday. I like that better, don't you? So we're having these miniature talks. This is what I did back in 2020 when all of a sudden we were all in lockdown and kind of panicking and going, pandemic, what's this all about? I kept all my pandemic talks, and they're in this humongous file, and I'm bringing them all out and sharing them again. This is stuff that has hit me in the heart and has really helped move the needle in my life. So I'm sharing them with you, and I hope you find them to be helpful. How's that for starters? We started our Rising Tide yesterday. Boy, wasn't that so good? Those of you who were there, I know that we had Mother Hen, of course, was there. Nancy was there. And we had a few other women who have joined our group. It is closed. You cannot join anymore. Sorry about that if you were thinking, maybe that's something I want to do. But you can still get the Take Back Your Life journal. That is an amazing resource and will help you completely reconfigure your idea of what a goal is and how it should be pursued. Seriously. I'm really proud of this, and I'm proud of the effort that went into it, the concepts that went into it, because the part that I played in it, but also the beauty Amber put into all of this by designing it and laying it out and all of that. And so far, the results, the reviews have been stellar. So we're thrilled about that. If you'd like to get your Take Back Your Life journal, you can find that at savingdinner.com/journal. And I will tell you that I really strongly recommend it. Do you know yesterday was 90 days until the end of the year? We have 90 days left. If you think about what 90 days ago was, that was what, July, August, September, July. July. That just felt like yesterday. And as you can tell, I'm already all up into my warmies here, because 41 degrees this morning when we got up. 41 degrees. I am not ready to let go of summer. Man, I miss it already. I already miss our summer. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. Jeanette's in the house too, y'all. Say hello to our Jeanette. So glad you're all here. I want to also make sure that you know that, come October, we're going to go full board into the sprint. I'm going to do a sprint webinar again. I'm going to stir the pot. I'm going to tell you what, people were stopping join because we do sprint our sprints all the time. But I just want to rattle some cages a little bit and say, wait a minute, time out. Let's get back to basics. And that's what that's going to be all about. So just be watching the newsletter. We'll have dates and times and all of that and webinars, and it will be held live. And yes, you will be able to come and it'll be a good time. So that's what I have for you today. I, of course, have TikTok on the ready right here. Look at me. I have, see, there's my two screens. I have TikTok on the ready, and we are going to bring them on board, and then we're going to get busy right here, right now. You ready for it? Let's do this. So our whole thing today is we are going to be talking about focus. Focus. Now, we've talked about focus before, but I'm going to give you some ways for you to create focus so that you can fall back onto these patterns instead of the old ones that no longer serve. How's that sound? Hey, Sue, I'm glad you're here. And say hello on TikTok, say hello on Facebook and YouTube. We're delighted to have you all here. It's going to be a fun time. So let's talk about focus and what it's all about. One of the things that I learned when I kind of did a deep dive on this idea of focus is that in order to get what I want, I needed to have the correct focus. My perspective couldn't be off. I've shared this before with you, but I think it's really important. And that is that oftentimes we see things from other people's perspectives. We see things from, a television commentator's perspective. We see things from a politician's perspective. We see things from a preacher's perspective. We see things from everybody else's perspective, but we don't look at our own. And I am here to remind you that you as a human being on planet Earth are here on purpose and for purpose. Your opinion matters. Your voice matters. The way that you put together your perspectives matter. We have to do it intelligently, of course. We have to be using our the big thinker up here, our prefrontal cortex, and be an abstract thinker. That's going to really help. But we also need to, in order to create any kind of direction that we want in our lives, we have to create focus, and it has to be the right one. And it has to be the right direction so that we can get what we want. Our thoughts, our activities, our relationships even, all of this is how we go from being fuzzy to focused. Now, I don't know about you, but fuzzy thinking has never gotten me anything or anywhere. It's not gotten me anything. But when I get focused, when I drill down and when I look at what needs to be looked at, and when I get focused on the things that need to happen in my life, that's when the magic starts. That's when the magic starts. So let's go with that. Shall we? Let's talk about it. So here's how we're going to go from fuzzy to focused. I have 7 things. And listen, if you want to get today's show notes and get those 7 things, you're going to find it at savingdinner.com. And right there, you just sign up for the newsletter and bingo, we'll send it to you the next day. So how do we go from fuzzy to focused? Number 1 is we have to start with what? I mean, basic, right? But what's important to you? What's important? Not your husband, not your kids, not your students, not your everybody else. What is important to you? What do you value most? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to do to get back what you want? Think about that for a minute. Have you ever, we've all done this. Have you ever just said, oh my gosh, I remember when 20 years ago or whatever, you're thinking back to what you used to have and you do no longer have it. Well, if you want to get something back, then there's going to be something you're going to have to let go of and something that you're going to have to start focusing on instead. That's how we get back things that maybe we've lost along the way. But we have to really know what our what is and the why behind it so that we can get some emotional impact with it. That emotional impact, that's the thing that pushes the ball down the field. Until we start doing that, until we start recognizing that our what is massively important, but the why behind it, that's going to put the emotion into it. And emotion is the thing that moves the ball. Number 2, what are you willing to commit to? I ask this because, you'll hear of people who, it's New Year's Day or whatever, New Year's starting out, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start working out every single day. And they have all these like huge, lofty goals. And then what happens? It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the commitment's not there. There's a difference between dating and marriage. There's a big difference, and that big difference is the commitment level. So you have to decide, what are you willing to be married to? What are you willing to be married to? Zach Common over here on TikTok says, I feel like I'm listening to Kamala Harris. That's interesting. All right. So your commitment is your focus. Bingo, right there. Dead center. Your commitment is your focus. Number 3 is, where is your time going? Do you have a sense of where your time is going, or do you find yourself endlessly scrolling on your phone? Hello, TikTok. Right? Or do you find yourself in a place where you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe, look what time it is. It's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. Where did all this time go? If you're in that place, then you need to get a grip on where your days go. I mean, we can always say, I commute this, I drop the kids here, I do this, I do that. And you can figure out those big chunks. But the chunks of time that I'm talking about are those times when you have, quote unquote, to yourself, right? What are you doing with it? Are you redeeming it, or are you wasting it? Are you killing it? We have a resource. It's free. Go to savingdata.com/time. And we can get a time block sheet. On this time block sheet, you can put down what your day is about and find those places where your time is just going out the door. I will tell you, this is a big eye opener. And for most people, we waste a heck of a lot of time. So even if thinking maybe I'm going to get a side hustle, or I'm going to start working out, or whatever it is, and you're saying, I just don't have time, I bet you will find time if you go to savingdata.com/time and get that time block sheet and fill it out in earnest. It doesn't have to be detailed, but it does need to ring with truth. You know what I'm saying? All right. Number 4 is a big deal. Okay. Because I look at number 4 as, man, sometimes we just blow it, don't we? Sometimes we keep waiting for peace, when in fact what we should be doing is creating peace. We create peace the minute we decide to declutter something, right? I just decluttered my desk this morning, and boy, suddenly peace appeared. Isn't that interesting how that works? I journal so that I can get the stuff out of my head and onto paper, so I have room to think. I know I'm not the only one like that, and it makes us feel better. It also helps to clear the air. It is a soul cleanser, as far as I'm concerned. And meditation helps too with this whole idea of an inner peace. Meditation and prayer. Peace makes it easier and far simpler when we are after something and we're trying to get focused. If you feel like you're all over the place, I know what that is. I have been diagnosed as ADHD. When you feel like you're all over the place, then focus is everything. And having an environment that supports you, decluttered, getting that visual piece, that's going to help take you so far. And also make sure you're creating a morning and an evening ritual, a morning ritual to help you to have yourself centered and focused. It makes all the difference in the world. Number 5 is to spend time where you find those places of support. I will tell you, I love me some TikTok, but I'm not going to find places of support there. But I am going to find places of support on Facebook in our Hot Milk Sprint group, because this is a community that has been built over a number of years. And it is a place where I know if I need encouragement, all I have to do is put one little post there, and I know my friends are going to come to my side. This is huge, because one of the places that we lose our grip and we lose our way is by not having community support. We're not meant to do this alone. We are tribal by nature. This is in our DNA. It is who we are. So if you don't have a community online or in the flesh or whatever, it's time to start making one. It's time to figure that out, because that's how you're going to, again, move the needle in your life and get the focus that you've been searching for. Number 6, besides the community time, we also need a little bit of alone time. It's okay to be alone sometimes. It's okay to be alone and quiet. Quiet time creates focus. And this is where I get out my Take Back Your Life journal. We have those, again, check it out at savingdinner.com/journal to do my 12-week goals. It helps me to get focused on what my goals are. I also use a journal, looks like this, a journal just to write in, and I take my earbuds, put my earbuds in, and I use a guided meditation every single day. And then I read. All of this is my quiet time alone when nobody's up, and it gives me this peace and focus so that I'm calm the rest of the day. And if you have any kind of ADD or ADHD, this is a non-negotiable. You have to have this so that you can get centered. When you're centered with yourself, you can be focused and you can have the things that you want in this lifetime. Focus is the number one thing, though. And number 7, I'm going to throw a ringer at you because I've been giving you all these practical things, is that watch your diet. I'm dead serious. I just watch my TikTok, by the way. I have a duet coming from this Dr. Drew, a friend of mine who had a doctor on who was talking about inflammatory food. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, he's absolutely 100% correct on this whole thing. And that is that inflammatory food leads to inflammatory thinking. You inflame your brain and you can't think thoroughly and well when you're full of sugar and inflammation and all that other kind of stuff. Focus happens because of a brain that can stay focused. And you can stay focused when you start eating foods that support your brain health. I mean, we have to do that. It's just too much otherwise. If we're eating an inflammatory diet, we are going to have an inflamed brain. Yep. So, I mean, if you eat something inflammatory and you're going, oh my gosh, I can really feel it in my knees, or I get it, I can feel it in my hips or whatever. Think about what's happening to your brain. You know, we're also inflaming our brain. So I think that's like critical, and, you know, look it up. It's all there and you can find it at PubMed. But focus happens really, number 4, focus happens in a concrete way when you start to say, I am going to start having peace in my life. That peace is going to help me to bring the focus. Eating a clean diet is going to bring focus. Having some alone time where I ritualize this morning routine that I have, where I recognize where my time is going, and then I am willing to commit to what it is that I want. And I know my why. I know what it is that I want, and I know why it is that I want it. And when you do all of these things, when you start with all of these 7 things that are so crucial, you will find that your focus is absolutely spot on. You are like a heat-seeking missile at that point. And when that happens, that's when we start to get the things that we want in our life. And I don't know about you, but for me, building a vibrant existence, a vibrant life, that's the only thing that I want. That's the only thing that I want, because everything else will fall into place. Vibrancy, it's where it's at. That's your high vibe right there. So I appreciate you showing up for me, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Thank you so much. If this meant something to you, share it with a friend, right? Share it with a friend. We've got some really exciting stuff coming up. Stay tuned. See you all later. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.